This is Ezra of We Rebuilding We TV. The time is here to expose. And before we continue, we just want to say thank you for stopping by. Hit the like button, subscribe to watch more videos by WRWTV Channel 1. President Joe Biden engaged in a conspiracy to monetize his public office as vice president and enrich his family by at least $27 million, according to 3 Republican-led House committees that oversaw an impeachment inquiry. Hours before Biden was set to speak Monday night at the Democratic National Convention, the House committees released the impeachment inquiry report, which also sharply criticizes the Biden-Harris administration for obstructing an investigation by Congress. As described in this report, the committees have accumulated evidence demonstrating that President Biden has engaged in impeachable conduct, says the report released by the Oversight and Accountability, Ways and Means, and Judiciary Committees. The totality of the corrupt conduct uncovered by the committees is egregious. The report continues. President Joe Biden conspired to commit influence peddling and grift. A House impeachment vote is highly unlikely as his fellow Democrats last month forced Biden out of running for a second term. It comes the morning before the president is set to give a farewell speech on the opening night of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, which is set to nominate his endorsed successor, Vice President Kamala Harris. Nevertheless, the 291-page report on House Republicans' impeachment inquiry details how various Biden family shell corporations raked in millions of dollars from foreign entities and individuals in China, Russia, Ukraine, Romania, and Kazakhstan. Most relevant, the report talks about the role Joe Biden played in assisting family members. The Biden White House was dismissive of the report. After wasting nearly 2 years and millions of taxpayer dollars, House Republicans have finally given up on their wild goose chase. White House spokesperson Sharon Young said in response to the Daily Signal's email inquiry, "This failed stunt will only be remembered for how it became an embarrassment that their own members distanced themselves from, as they only managed to turn up evidence that refuted their false and baseless conspiracy theories." Young said, "The American people deserve more from House Republicans, and perhaps now they will finally join President Biden in focusing on the real issues that American families actually care about." Although many of the findings in the final report have been released before, the contents of the Monday report elaborate on the totality of the Biden's role in the family business ventures from 2014 to the present, as part of a conspiracy to monetize Joe Biden's Office of Public Trust to enrich the Biden family members, and their associates received over $27 million from foreign individuals or entities. The report says, adding the source of these funds, the Biden family and their associates set up shell companies to conceal these payments from scrutiny. The Biden family used proceeds from these business activities to provide hundreds of thousands of dollars to Joe Biden, including thousands of dollars that are directly traceable to China, while brother Jim Biden claimed he gave this money to Joe Biden to repay personal loans. Jim Biden did not provide any evidence to support this claim. The Biden family's receipt of millions of dollars required Joe Biden's knowing participation in this conspiracy, including while he served as vice president. All House Republicans voted against the first impeachment of President Donald Trump, which was over his 2019 phone call to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in which he mentioned Joe Biden and son Hunter Biden's dealings in Ukraine. Next month, Hunter Biden is set to go on trial on federal tax charges and for allegedly violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act in connection with these activities. The new report from the Republican-controlled House states that the Democrat-controlled House set a precedent when it impeached Trump in 2019 for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The report says the Biden-Harris administration obstructed the three House committees' investigation. The president met with his son Hunter before the younger Biden defied a House subpoena to testify. The report notes, Hunter Biden eventually gave a deposition to House investigators. The report also notes that the Biden-Harris administration obstructed the committee's probe of the president's retention and sharing of classified information by refusing to make relevant witnesses available for interviews and by erroneously asserting executive privilege over audio recordings from special counsel Robert Hur's interviews with President Biden. The report quotes House Democrats' 2019 report, which said the House may properly conclude that a president's obstruction of Congress is relevant to assessing the evidentiary record in an impeachment inquiry, and that, when the president illegally seeks to obstruct such an inquiry, the House is free to infer that evidence blocked from its view is harmful to the president's position. House Republicans' report released Monday says, applying the precedent here, the House is free to conclude that the witnesses and information currently withheld from the committees are adverse to the president, apart from the $27 million in foreign funds that went to the Bidens. The report notes that Biden family members scored another $8 million in loans from Democratic benefactors. Millions of dollars in loans have not been repaid, and the paperwork supporting many of the loans does not exist and has not been produced to the committees. The report concludes, this raises serious questions about whether these funds were provided as gifts disguised as loans.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
There has been an incident at Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally. It appears shots have apparently been fired and Donald Trump has been injured.
Salute, press the YouTube icon on this profile and subscribe to Rebuilding We TV channel.